Nice to meet you. My name is Nadia. Sorry. Nice to meet you.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Megan. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you. Good morning. Nice to meet you, Jeffrey.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Amanda. Good morning.
Good morning.
More nice to meet you. Very good.
I need one of those packets.
Mr. Mason, is the volume up already? Is the volume up already on there? Like
volume?
it'll play sound?
Yes. Okay. Make sure inside the speakers there for the camera. You're ready, sir.
According to the World Health Organization, over 150 million children suffer from protein deficiency all around the world. This is a silent crisis affecting health, development, and quality of life on a massive scale.
So here at AP3 Protein, it's our mission to create a new and improved protein drink made for both children and adults. Unlike traditional options, our drink is going to deliver clean, balanced nutrition using only natural ingredients. That means none of those harsh, toxic chemicals and those unnecessary sugars, while still preserving great taste.
Hello, my name is Magda, and I'm the CEO.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey and I'm the CFO.
Hello, my name is Louis. I'm the CMO.
And my name is Owen, I am the CTO.
So our main problem is that there isn't many convenient solutions like a drink to help children with their protein and nutrition deficiency, and a lot of the solutions that do exist contain a lot of unnecessary harmful ingredients that could potentially harm your children and keep them from growing.
So this is our solution. Our solution is going to be a protein shake that consists up to 6 to 7 total ingredients. That is made for children and adults up to ages 7 and up. As you can see, this is our solution. As you can see, our mascot is kid friendly, and we have a clean, simple design for the moms looking at the clean and bottle.
And now the ingredients we'll be using only natural and organic milk that adds that base protein, half and half that adds that creaminess, as well as Greek yogurt for our main protein source, honey that adds that natural sugar sweetener, and then vanilla extract and cocoa powder for our two unique flavors, which would be chocolate and vanilla. Now, talking about the benefits of our product would be bones, providing that strong bone, half and half that gives that boost, while still providing those healthy fats that you need, as well as Greek yogurt supporting growth, child growth, and the digestion, and then honey for that sweet tooth that you may be craving, and then lastly the vanilla extract and cocoa powder for the unique flavors.
So for our pricing, we're going to give out 6 14-ounce bottles for a price of $25, and for our 15 bottles, 14-ounce will be listed at $40, and for our sub location, it will be our official AP3 website.
So this is our cost of goods sold. It costs about $13.20 to make a batch of 6 bottles, but if we're selling it at our unit price set at $25, we profit about $11.80, leaving us with a margin rate of 47.2%. So this is our TAM, SAM, and our SOM. Our total addressable market, if we sell about 248 million units, we could accumulate about $992 million after our first year, and that would be just selling in only in California. And then for our serviceable, attainable market, if we sold about 22 million units, we could make about $89 million after our first year, and that would be based just in the Central Valley. And then for our serviceable, attainable market, the market that we can actually get our product out to, we would have a first year revenue of about $3.1 million after selling only 781,000 units, and that would be just based here in Fresno, and we would have a conversion rate of 3.6%. So for our SG&A, our main costs would be marketing, administrative, and our distributive costs. So marketing costs would be our free samples and our online advertisements. The online advertisements, we just recently added it in there because we realized we really wanted to boost our ad and reach more and more people so we can gain more customers. And then for our administrative cost, it's mainly just our team salary being 180 grand by the end of the year, but each person is only going to get 45,000. And then for our distributive costs, we researched and realized that it costs about like $8 to $20 or more to actually for like shipping our product out and packaging. But we have been looking into some co-packing companies that could change that number.
Now, what sets us apart from our competitors is that we look to use only natural and organic ingredients, affordable pricing, protein efficient focus, and childhood focus. The product that these companies use may hide the reality and just use unnecessary chemicals and ingredients that you may not need.
Here's our ideal customer. This is Darren Murray. He's 8 years old. He has an active, academic, fun lifestyle. But sadly, he suffers from protein and nutrition deficiency, and he needs something that could help him reach his full potential.
So this is our gatekeeping rule. So the way we're going to manage to get our customers is advertise via social media, and we will give out free servings of our product, and then we will give out free samples of our product. And the way we're going to keep those customers is by giving out new flavors, membership systems, and team up exclusive flavors. And the way we're going to grow within our people is we're going to give out incentive programs and gift cards.
So right now, our capital ask is $525,000 in return of 15% of our business. And the way that we're going to use our capital, big chunk of it goes towards our administrative, 82.7%. 15% would go towards marketing, and 2.3% would go towards distribution.
So this is our 3-year summary. Our first year, we want to establish sales on our website and sell locally in the area. And on the second year, we want to make our product available in stores extending out to the Central Valley. And on our third year, we want to purchase our own production facility and sell all over California. Here are our MVP results. So we ran an ad for 2 weeks, and in the span of those 2 weeks, we managed to reach 15.3 thousand people. And out of those 15.3 thousand people, 421 people visited our website and filled out our call to action. And after looking at the statistics, we saw that 62% of the people that saw our website were women in 20 to 30s, which is our ideal customer demographic.
Many children today aren't getting the protein or nutrition they need. This affects your children's life and growth on a massive scale. What if there were a healthy, more convenient alternative solution to this problem? Here at AP3 Protein, we help fuel your children's growth with a clean blend with no more of those nasty chemicals, just natural ingredients, helping the little ones. We are AP3 Protein.
And now, after our customer would look at the ad, they would scan a QR code that would take them to our landing page, where our call to action will be. Up top, we had our logo. Down there, our mission paragraph. And as you can see there is a little 3D mock-up showcasing our product. And then down there is our socials linking to our Instagram and YouTube, so people will know more about us. And then on our left, we have our call to action form where our customer would be filling out their name, their zip code, and any comments or questions they would have about our product. And now that you know a little bit more about us, remember, our protein drink is designed to fuel growing kids, support active lifestyles, and give families that healthy, convenient choice, all in one bottle. So we only provide that smile on your kid's face. Thank you for your time.
I think you need to be clear on who your target audience is. So in the beginning, you pitched that this is for kids and adults. And then throughout your entire presentation, the look and feel of the brand, who's in your ad, it's all kids, and you even end with kids. So I think you should continue to lean in on this is for kids who suffer from protein deficiency of some type, because don't get it confused. I think you're really good potentially in staying in the kids market. A few quick questions. What are good fats? You said this thing has good fats. What's a good fat? Can you go back to what's in it real quick? I want to make sure. I'm going to be a little bit harder on you guys than anyone else because you're putting something in people's mouths and bodies. So you should be doing some really deep research, spending your whole weekends doing this kind of thing. Spending your whole spring breaks and all that, doing some research. What's a good fat in here?
Good, that would be just using milk and cream. Well, the one I use is half and half. It just has two real natural ingredients. You wouldn't want to go any further than that.
Do your research on what good fats are, because those are not good fats. So I definitely want you to look at each of these ingredients before you make some statements about what's in it that you may think is a good thing, but dairy fats are not good fats. I'm going to tell you what is when I have you do your research. Before you make statements like that. Just want to point that out. How long does this stay fresh?
For about a couple of days.
How do you know?
Like
That leads to my next question. How do you know? Because have you made any?
Yeah, I have some product there.
You have some product here?
I would like to give you after the question. If that's fine right now?
Yeah, that's what you start with. That's what you start with, sir. Okay, good. The rest of you should be able to answer my questions while we're kind of waiting, because I like to. I'm not that way. I'm going to let other judges just dig into this one, but your administrative cost is too high. 82% is amazing. I like to say, and this is probably not every type of judge, I think when you're starting off as an entrepreneur and you're building this business, it's okay to not pay yourselves. Put everything you can back into the business so it grows. I think it's okay to not pay yourselves in the beginning. You have to have a day job, you have to have a night job, you have something else, but you put everything you can into the business and let it grow on its own. All of the other judges talk on what that 82% administrative cost is all about. And I have some other stuff, but I think that's what I wanted to start out with. But I love the look and feel of the brand. It's about kids.
What led you to discovering this problem that kids aren't getting enough protein?
So, last year, at the start of all this, we really wanted to make something that would help people, and we were looking at we wanted to make something that would provide protein for adults. And after a while, we were talking and we realized that a lot of times people like to make there's so many protein drinks for adults and people that work out, but people that not a lot of people think about the children and what they need. And we were researching and seeing what actually is made for children. After looking at it, we saw that a lot of the products that are supposedly healthy for children, a lot of them have a lot of unnecessary and harmful ingredients. They use a lot of artificial stuff and a lot of chemicals that could later hurt your children.
It's a cool product because it is unique. It's not something you see very often. And I think what would really hook me as a mom is telling me an insight about kids not getting enough protein that I didn't know. And I'm sure there are statistics out there about that. So if you can lead with, did you know kids get X% less protein than they should on a daily basis? So thinking about what is that hook that's going to teach someone something new and be like, oh, I didn't know that. I need to give my child more protein, or look at what the ingredients are in the things that I'm feeding them. So that could be a really good way to just hook people and get them interested.
I was just curious to see the bottle, because I would like to see the ingredients listed on drinks. Yeah. Do you have that bottle? Oh. No, thank you.
Does that make sense, though? If you ground it in research, it builds your credibility a lot. So there might be a fad right now of protein food for kiddos, but you'll stand out if you have the research to back it.
I'll add to that. Adding the research to your presentation will give it that validity, and so not just feeling it, but highlighting it so that we can see it, just in case we want to do some fact finding. So that would help. Can you all go to your cost slide? Now, were there specific directives in terms of how you all were supposed to reflect your cost on these slideshows? That's not a trick question. Was there specific directions in terms of how you all were supposed to reflect cost on the slideshow? It's not a trick question. I just wondered if this is what you put together, or were you told that you had to have it highlighted a certain way?
No, this is just the way that we did it.
Okay. So this is a very unique design. I love the creativity, the branding, the color scheme. It's very appealing and attractive. But when you're talking about business, I mean, I would like to see a spreadsheet of year-over-year numbers for the first 5 years of your business, right? So a forecast highlighting the cost implications that are associated with the business. I like to see the per unit amount, which is great. It's nice to be able to see the profit margin. It's nice to be able to see, various nuances that are going to be associated with the cost. But seeing year-over-year numbers tells me exactly what I can anticipate from your business each and every year. And I also think it would inform you all too, and maybe give you a more realistic depiction of what you can anticipate as well. Can you go one slide before this?
I'm sorry.
Yes.
This was just made aware to me by this B here. That unit price is for 4.
Say it again.
That unit price is for 4 bottles, not just 1.
No, it's for 6 months.
6 bottles, so it's more than just 1 bottle.
Yeah, it's for,
They didn't clearly
okay.
mark
Gotcha.
that here. That's for 6 bottles, not just 1.
I was gonna say, because that was gonna be my next question.
I'm so sorry. Our 1 unit would be of 6. Sorry, I don't know.
Oh, it's like a pack of 6.
Yes, it's a
6
pack of
bottles.
6.
Okay.
You don't have a single serving? There's not a way to get one?
So we were, previous judges were saying that we shouldn't sell individually, that we should try to get it more in bulk so people don't have to constantly go back and forth to it.
No, you're fine. And again, I'm not a protein shake connoisseur, so I don't know what the going rate is for whether it's a pack of 6 or just 1 bottle of protein. But I'm assuming you all are positioning yourselves in the marketplace to be a premium product. Is that correct? Is that how you're positioning it? Okay. And so when you're comparing it to, what's your primary competitors? I saw the competitor sheet. Can you go to that slide? What are their prices in comparison?
They really vary around. They sell singular bottles, so they don't sell packs like we do. So, but what they do is that they mainly focus on like supposedly saying clean, natural nutrition, but they regularly sell like around 4 for 1 bottle.
So if you were to develop I guess a 1 bottle unit, right, a per bottle unit, in comparison, would you say your price points would be higher than theirs, lower than theirs? Where would your price points fall?
Our price point would be lower.
Lower than theirs?
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, I think a couple things. One, obviously, I mentioned the spreadsheet. I think the spreadsheet is a better approach when trying to reflect cost and revenue and even profit margins after that. But I also want you all to continue to think about your positioning in the marketplace. You know what positioning is?
Like where we stand,
Yeah. So like Mercedes is, when you think of Mercedes, you think of what? Luxury?
Yeah.
Okay, when you think of, no offense to anybody, but a Kia, right? That may not be at the same level that you would consider a Mercedes to be, correct? Right? They both have positions in the marketplace, and they've done a really, really good job of marketing themselves in a way that you all would know how to kind of slot them in tiers based upon, their value, right? And so I think it's important for your prices to reflect that as well. And so just keep that in mind too as you're looking at your prices, because I think you all use a cost-based pricing approach, and you also want to consider value-based pricing too, right? So you got your cost-based pricing that's going to consider, your manufacturing costs and all the other components that you highlighted, right? But after that, there's a certain amount of value that's going to be associated with your product. based upon the uniqueness that your product brings to the market. That's value. So you can have a standard markup that's associated with that value, but you just want to make sure that, you know, it's within reason. Okay, that requires some additional research. So just make sure that you're thinking about that in addition to the cost-based pricing that you're.
I really love this idea, and I don't think there's a product like this out there, at least not to my knowledge, if it's specifically meant for kids. I was very interested in seeing the ingredients. I know you listed what you're using, but before I taste something or give it to my child, I would want to see the list of the ingredients, even if it was handwritten. And you talked about giving out samples, so if you're at like a farmer's market or something, you would need to do that instead of, you know, just a little cup. When you talked about your distribution costs, I imagine that covered ingredients. I saw that you covered, shipping boxes, but were we talking about the bottles as well? I didn't see that in terms of your price.
We were talking about the bottles as well, but we also did say that when it came to like getting the actual bottles themselves, there are co-packing companies that can provide us with bottles, but we're trying to find the ones that'll make our product for us and then put in the bottles and then ship it out for us so that we don't really have to do much.
Okay, got it. And I love that you guys were researching partnerships, but you also mentioned it expires within a couple of days. So how do you guarantee that a 6-pack isn't going to go bad on somebody before they have an opportunity to drink it?
Okay, so we did have a little experiment like a couple of weeks ago, and we're like, okay, so if we make like a batch right now and we just leave it in the fridge, how long does it take for it to actually go bad? I wouldn't suggest doing this, but like, he did panic a little bit and say a couple of days. It was about like, I want to say like a week and a half until it actually did start to like, you can physically see it go bad.
Okay.
But taste wise, like it went better on that section.
In a week and a half?
After like a week and a half.
Okay. I also like the bio that you guys did of yourselves in your packet. That was really kind of unique. So, great job.
I really love the product. I think it's a great idea. I think I said it last time, right? Protein is something that the food industry is really focusing on right now. So I think you're hitting a trend. I agree with Mr. T here. If, as an investor, right, if I see 82.7% goes to admin, I'm wondering what does that admin cost? Where does that go, right? So maybe break that out a little bit more. You said in your canvas here, in the business model canvas, you talk about we want to put money into marketing and grow sales, right? So I think as an investor, that's what I would like to hear, right? That you're trying to grow the business, right? If I hear admin, to me that sounds like overhead. Sounds like maybe we're paying ourselves to sit in the office and write cute emails, right? So as an investor, I would say I would like to know what do you do with the money, right? But I think it's a really good idea, right? So the other question is this, and I was using the Gemini AI here a little bit. Do you know how much money Fresno Unified spends on chocolate milk?
A whole lot.
Take a wild guess.
$1 million.
Millions? Yeah. So 2.5 million for chocolate milk. And it's fat-free, right? And then white milk, 500,000. So about over $3 million Fresno Unified spends every year on chocolate milk and milk, right? And the board had in 2020, during a board meeting, they were debating about having so much chocolate milk where it's basically like a soda, right? It's not healthy, right? So I think you guys are up to, you have a solution for this problem, and you have a huge customer that's right in front of your doorsteps that you could potentially sell this to. Right? So I would I would invite you guys to think about this, right? And maybe look at your business model camps and see if the distribution channel was, big people that, a big customer that buys in bulk versus having to convince individual moms, that might be more effective, right? I don't know if somebody said it already, but, your sales targets, like, I'm just kind of wondering, like, how realistic are they, right? Can you make the product, right? And maybe in terms of that with the collaboration, right? We have here Producers Dairy, that's a local company, right? And they might be somebody to collaborate with, and at the same time, they might also be your biggest competitor, right? And that's sometimes in entrepreneurship, you got to kind of figure out, should we compete with somebody or should we team up with somebody, right? So maybe something to think about. Maybe once you have a big contract, you can go to Producers there and say, hey, we need to make 100,000 gallons of this product. Can you help us with that? The other thing, I really love that you guys did the MVP, right, with that page, and you tracked the statistics. I think that was really good, right? You learned from the statistics that you found your target audience, those mothers in that age range, right? What I wasn't quite sure about when you said, hey, the call to action was to fill out this little form. What purpose was that?
So the call to action is like, so if they have any questions or comments about our company or our product, and also so that we could see how many people are actually seem interested into our product.
Okay. Yeah. What kind of comments did you guys get?
We got comments saying that if it's locally, we got a few saying that if it's locally, since the zip code was very specific, we didn't want to seem too sketchy by saying your email or something. So they were just saying where are you located, what kind of product, what kind of ingredients do you use, stuff like that about the product. Yeah.
So here again, right, as an investor, I would like to see people actually being able to buy something, or to request a free sample, or something where hey, they want this, right? And I think the asking for comments is a great first start. I think I would want to see a little bit more commitment of, hey, yeah, I want to taste this, right? Something like imagine when Tesla, right, when they bring out a new model, they let you put a deposit down, right? And based on that, they know, oh yeah, these people actually they paid $500, and right, it's you put your money where your mouth is. Huh?
Get that deposit back.
Oh, and you don't get the deposit back, right? Or you might never get the car either, right?
We are out of time. AP3 Protein. Thank you.